Hi everyone, Chris Anderson from Mount Comfort RV, continuing our coronavirus RV video series. This is the second video we're doing. We started with Baystar Sport. I told you I'm going to take you up through the Newmar line as far as I can take you. So this is a Baystar. Specifically, this is a 2020 Baystar 3626. I had to think about that for a second. So in this 3626, we have Arbor Maple cabinetry throughout the coach. And then we also have Seneca decor on the inside and Sterling graphics on the outside. So that'll give you an idea of just what you're looking at. This floor plan, I believe, was new for 2019, if I remember, and it really caught my eye because to me it was a diesel floor plan on a gas platform, you know, with, of course, a gas coach price instead of that diesel price. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I like about it. May or may not make it the right coach for you, but they're what I look for in a motorhome. And then certainly also I'm going to tell you some of the things you get when you upgrade from a Baystar Sport to a Baystar. Well, we'll start with one of the biggest ones, and that's going to be a bigger chassis. The Baystar Sport we did yesterday, that was on a chassis with a weight rating of 20,500 pounds. Now, what's that mean? That's called a GVWR, or gross vehicle weight rating. And all that really means is that's basically what the axles, tires, wheels, and everything, that's the weight rating they're rated to carry. That's the maximum amount you can put in there by the time you get it all loaded up and everything. So that's a medium duty chassis, the 20,500. This is built on the 26,000 GVWR chassis, which is the heaviest duty gas chassis made. All my Canyon Stars are also built on this same platform. They don't make a bigger gas chassis. This is as close to a diesel coach as you can get without being a diesel coach and without having that diesel price. So this coach will have extremely good carrying capacity, going to have the bigger wheels and tires on it, the 22.5s, and be a little bit more of a bigger coach feel to you. This coach is just under 37 feet long, and so let's get to this floor plan and what makes it nice. First thing, of course, driver passenger seats do turn around like they do on all the gas coaches, but I also want to show you some really cool benefits of this floor plan. We option this in with the two chairs up front, and the two chairs up front give you absolutely perfect viewing to the televator that's across the aisle here. Okay, we're going to raise that up. Sure we are. Come on, raise up. There we go. Oh, it was starting. I didn't give it a chance. Just leave it alone, Chris. Let the equipment work. On top of that, you'll see there is a Bose sound bar on top of there, and that is Bluetooth capable as well. This should be a nice Samsung television by the time it gets all the way up. One thing you notice about this, it's a very quiet, smooth operation. Some of these sound like you drop something down the garbage disposal when they're coming up, and you always wonder if they sound like that, how long their life expectancy is, but that's not the case with this coach. Nice, smooth, and that is a nice Samsung televator. Across from that, we actually have a nice sofa. I'm going to show you how this one works. This is a little different operation. Okay, this is a fold and tumble bed is what they call this. You simply pull that out, the legs fold down automatically. There are a couple seat belts under here as well. And then we fold this down. There's an air mattress that automatically inflates. You just have to turn that on, and you've got a beautiful bed here. This is comfortable sleeping for two people. And what'd that take, 30 seconds so far? When you're done with it, fold it up like this. There we go. That's all there is to that. Makes it very nice and easy to turn that into a bed. All right, so the next sleeping area we would have would be the booth here. This is a Villa booth. That's just the manufacturer on it. This is a Dream Dinette table, so it is the easy glide down. Not one of those where you have to pull out the poles and wrestle with those. You do have storage in here as well. Okay, and a little bug. No charge for the bug. Okay. There we are. And this is being Villa furniture, it's actually a very comfortable booth. It's something that when you sit on it, you don't feel like you're on something that's built out of plywood. We'll get into some of the storage here above the two recliner chairs, which are flex steel chairs, and they're very comfortable. We have our storage. Okay, again, these have the struts that hold the doors up for you and also hold the doors in tight when you're going down the road. Nice storage here. One of the things I like is they actually used a big window here. They didn't do cabinets here. You could order it with cabinets there as a special, but I wouldn't because that's such a nice big window. One of the things when we're doing videos that we don't always get the full effect on is the windows, because we need to put the blinds down a little bit in these coaches, because if we point the camera at a window and it's really, really bright, it really messes with the lightness and darkness of the video. So we kind of have to keep the natural light out while we do these, which is unfortunate because really if you're in here on a sunny day with all this glass, it really shows well. In the kitchen area, look at the size of this cabinet. All right, we have a 30-inch residential convection microwave from Whirlpool. Okay, get a shot on the inside there. Beautiful Corian countertops, customized at Newmar. When you go through these coaches, by the way, if you won't see this probably on a Florida coach, but on a Midwestern coach like we are here in Central Indiana, you see these little droplets. No, we're not messy Kool-Aid drinkers around here. That's RV antifreeze. That's what we have to put going through the winter on these coaches. It's what we have to put in the lines to keep the lines from freezing. So when you see that, like I said, it's not that we're trying to be messy, but sometimes the faucets do drip a little over time. This is a double stainless sink with Corian covers, and it's deep. First thing I noticed about that is that it's a really deep sink. Of course, that is a pull-out sink sprayer as well. When you step up from one coach to another in the Newmar line, the things you'll notice is everything just gets a little nicer. Be it the wall sconces on the wall, be it the cabinetry, be it the backsplash, that type of thing, the way they trim out the Corian, everything just takes that next step up, and that's what you'll see here. We do have a Corian stove cover here, little nicer stove here as well. And then we'll get into some of the lower kitchen storage here. Let me just get everything opened up and Tony can get all the shots. Okay, we'll start here. Big storage down underneath, plus a little spot for all your little scrubbies. Okay, and then we have, this one has drawers galore in it. This one's a little skinny. Okay, there's our silverware drawer. These are the soft close drawers, so when you get them close, they'll pull themselves back in. That's a little deeper drawer. And then here, these kind of get bigger as we go down. So nice setup for all the kitchen cabinetry there. Behind me you have pantry. This is, oh, that shelf's off the track a little bit, but 3 adjustable shelves there. Okay, and then down below, I'd use that for more pantry. All right. Shut the bathroom door here. We have a residential Whirlpool refrigerator freezer with an ice maker. This does run off of an inverter. Okay, nice storage above. Another little hiding hole here. And then look at this. Check out that pantry. Not only do you have adjustable shelves on this side, but you have adjustable drawers on this side. And they pull all the way out. 1, 2, 3, 5 of those drawers that you can set to any height. One of the things I always look for in a bigger coach is, do we have a spot for a washer dryer? Well, yes, we do. Across from this, we have the bathroom. All right. This has a very generously sized shower. This is a 40 by 30 inch shower. Okay, so a little even bigger. I thought yesterday's shower was a decent size, but this is even a little bigger. So that's nice. Pull down shower head, plenty of room for the taller people. Not my problem, but plenty of room for the taller people. And then let's take a look at some of our cabinets here. Of course, this one, not much to see here. This is just circuit breakers and fuses. Okay. Storage is here and here in the medicine cabinet. This guy kind of pulls out. Good spot for a trash can back there. Nice sized drawer. Another nice sized drawer and more storage. All right, good plug-ins here and good countertop space in and around the sink. One of the next things on Chris's list is, does it have a king size bed in it? Because a lot of people are just asking for that. So yes, this has a king size bed. Windows on each side that do open to allow for a cross breeze. And something you don't see anymore in coaches is a nice rear window. I remember RVing as a child, and I used to like to sit back on the bed and look out the back window and, you know, wave at the cars behind you and all that. So that was kind of a fond memory for me, and somebody finally brought back the rear window. So that's nice. Two cabinets just like this, and this is prepped. What you can't see very well, so you have to take my word for it, there is in the middle there's actually an outlet there, an electrical outlet, and then there's little punch outs right here. This is built for a CPAP. So anybody, you know, a lot of people, more and more people are having CPAPs these days, and that's a spot to put your CPAP, and then spots to run the hose down to actually use it, and it'll be out of sight, out of mind. So they made it very easy. The king size bed does lift up and has storage underneath. Another Samsung television in here. Great closet. This is the booth cushion for when you make it into a bed. I would store that under the bed, but it's in the closet now. And then we have this little cubby hole here, which is where our Blu-ray player is. That's another difference when you step up to the Baystar. In the Baystar Sport, you got one Blu-ray player, and this you get two. So there you go. And then we have drawers. 5 of them like these two. So lots of storage in the bedroom also. Let's go up front. I want to show you some of the stuff in the cockpit area. Okay. This is where your electronics would go for, say, like a satellite receiver. You see that orange cord hanging out there? This coach has an in-motion satellite on the roof already. So it would take all of about 5 minutes for somebody to put a satellite receiver in here. You hook up a couple of cables, you plug it in, and you're done. So that's nice, and your other Blu-ray player is up here. There is a secondary TV here. Well, Chris, why is there 2 TVs up in the front area? Well, if you have guests over and they're sitting on the sofa, their heads would actually be right in your way. So in the event that you do have guests over, you can all watch the front TV instead of this one. If it's just a couple of people, then you can sit comfortably on the recliners and enjoy your show. Now in here, we do have just a little bit of storage. Up front, this front shade is power. I think I forgot to mention that on the Baystar Sport. It is power on the Baystar Sport as well. Your side shades are manual. Of course, you do have backup and turn signal cameras on this coach also. Cup holders on either side. Automatic leveling jacks, all the things you would expect on these coaches. Now, you do go to a little nicer blind system. We had a pleated blind in the Baystar Sport. In the Baystar, you're going to the MCD style shades where you have these screens like you see here. That's kind of what we would call your day shade, because you can still kind of see out and see what's going on, but it's blocking the heat, blocking the light, and people can't see in. At night, when you light it up in here, people would be able to see in, so you would want to pull down the secondary shade, which is a blackout shade just like these up front are. So those are on all of the windows, and that makes things nice. All right, I'm trying to think what we've forgotten for the inside. We'll cover real quickly, just go over what do we have behind this door. A handful of things here, just like on the Baystar Sport. This is what tells us our battery voltage and our tank levels. Gas and electric water heater can be controlled right here. This one does have an energy management system, and the energy management system basically tells us what type of power is coming in. Like right now, it can tell you're on a generator, and then it can shut things off to keep you from going over your 50 amp rating, or especially important if you're only on a 30 amp hookup. This is a 50 amp coach, but it will run off of 30 by using this energy management system. Our slide outs are controlled here with these 2 buttons. This is a 12 volt disconnect, so when you put your coach in storage, if you're not going to be using it for a while, you can click that off, and that'll keep your house batteries up. This is the step switch. Okay, the step switch, just all it does is whether you want the entry step coming and going in and out every time you open the door, or whether you want it to stay out until such time as you're leaving. Your awning is of course a power awning and does have lights as well, so those are the controls for this. That's that satellite dish I mentioned. We do have heated holding tanks in this coach, and that's a nice but probably unnecessary feature. To me, heated holding tanks are better served on coaches that don't have heated basements. Whenever you're running your furnace in this coach, your actual basement where your holding tanks and your lines are heated, so you don't really need the holding tank heater. But sometimes we catch grief because, hey, that real cheapo brand over at XYZ RVs, it had heated holding tanks. Well, it probably needed heated holding tanks because it didn't have a heated basement. Better to have a heated basement than a heated holding tank. This has both, so I'm not going to catch much grief on that. And lastly, we do have the Xantrex inverter here. That's what runs our refrigerator. Inverters simply take 12 volt DC current, 12 volt battery power like your car has. It turns it into 110, 120 volt AC current, alternating current, which is what our household has. When we use a household refrigerator, this becomes necessary for that. So that's our control for an inverter there. I think that covers most things on the inside of this coach. Let's take a minute and we will go check out the coach. I was going to say the outside of the coach, but before we do that, we're going to bring the slides in and show you what this looks like with the slide out in. All right, slides are in, and this one's pretty good if you take a couple of measures, which if you do one thing, which is really get these chairs all the way back up against the wall. If it were me, I would kind of throw a blanket over the back of those chairs just to protect the ultra leather, and then do what we've done here, which is put them all the way back up against the wall, because look at the aisle that gives you. It's actually very serviceable here. No issues getting through here at all. We can get all the way back to the kitchen, do some microwaving if we want to. Obviously easy in and out of the refrigerator. You have to go past the bathroom door, but once you do, it's easy in and out there too. Somebody could obviously get back and take a nap on the bed also. One thing I forgot to demonstrate is actually the folding cockpit table. So let's take a look at that. Nice feature from Newmar. As it sits now, you have 2 cup holders in it. Which for going down the road, that's perfect. Once we get this set up, you get your coach set up in the RV site and get your seats turned around and get comfortable, you can also put this table up. Okay, it pulls up like this, top flips over, those cup holders end up being on the bottom, and take a look at that. Nice table for using between these 2 seats up here. It's certainly a good use of space that once you're set up in the campground, this almost becomes wasted space. But that makes it not wasted space and gives you a nice other table. So putting it away is the exact opposite. You fold it like this, push it straight down, fold it over, hit the release, and shove it back. It locks in place. How slick is that? Let's take a look at the outside of this coach. All right, there's a little bit of wind blowing, breezy day here. So if we get a little wind noise, I apologize. Usually the microphone cuts it out pretty good, so we'll see. We've got all the storage opened up on the outside of this. You can see back here at the very back, that's actually a pass-through. I can see all the way out the other side on that one. So there's where your long items go. As we move forward, there's another pass-through here. You can see the Newmar slide mechanism and how beefy that is. Come forward, another pass through, and all of these compartments are lined with the ozite carpet. That keeps the noise down, also keeps things from sliding around as much. More storage here, here. So you see, and then this is one big storage compartment up front. You can see we're at no loss for storage on this coach whatsoever. Now, one of the other upgrades, a couple upgrades I noticed on the outside here right away. First of all, these are aluminum baggage doors. The Baystar Sport has slam doors on it, which, like we talked about yesterday, most of your lesser expensive coaches do not. They have travel trailer doors on them, and they're about that thick. The doors are the same thickness on the Baystar Sport, but instead of being an aluminum door, they're actually a fiberglass door. When you step up to the Baystar, you get aluminum doors, and these go all the way through the rest of the Newmar lineup. So that is one upgrade you have there. The next one is we are on 22.5-inch wheels and tires, and these are Alcoa aluminum rims. Well, now a lot of people just automatically say, well, bigger tires, it's going to ride better. Well, that's true to a certain point, but you can't go crazy about it. Like yesterday's coach, I don't think would ride a bit better on 22.5. So that's a little bit like putting a size 12 foot and a size 14 shoe. It's a little bit of overkill, and that doesn't necessarily make things better. If that was the case, Cadillacs would come with 22.5-inch RV tires on them if they were the greatest riding thing ever. You have to have a proper wheel and tire for the size of the coach. You get up to a coach that's a 26,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating like this one is, and it's 36, almost 37 feet long, then you definitely want the bigger wheels and tires, just like the diesel coaches have. So that's something you want to be aware of. In the right application, 22.5-inch tires are wonderful, but that doesn't mean that anything with 19.5s on it is terrible. If it's a smaller coach, it's probably the right tire for it. We do have a fourth Samsung television outside here, and this is on the swing arm. This is out underneath your power awning. Look, there's Tony making his appearance. The power awning is a metal wrapped power awning also, and that is just going to get you a little bit of protection from tree branches and that type of thing as you're pulling into the campground. Of course, this does have the beautiful masterpiece finish. We have our flagpole holder up front. Here's our turn signal cameras. We have the 3M film, or the Diamond Shield rather, that we're used to seeing on these coaches. We have our frameless windows also. All right, let's take a look at the other side. Let's work our way around there. I'm going to shut these doors because, like I said, it's a little breezy. I would hate for the wind to really catch one. All right. This back compartment has our 50 amp shore power cord and the transfer switch. What a transfer switch does is it controls the power going back and forth, whether the power is coming from the generator or you plug into a 50 amp or 30 amp service where the power comes from. It switches the coach back and forth automatically between those. This particular one does have a surge protector built into it, so that's a nice upper end feature there. We move forward one, this is all storage. Okay. Move forward again, we have our wet bay, very clean, everything's well labeled. We do have a black tank flush on this coach. We gained a storage spot here for the sewer hose to be in. This is our fuel fill. It does hold 80 gallons of regular old unleaded gasoline. We have a 10-gallon gas and electric water heater. Our water pump on this one is mounted really in a great spot because it's really easy to get to, and this is our siphon hose for winterizing the coach. Our freshwater tank and our freshwater tank drain are on this side. Okay, more storage right next to that, and then we have the Onan. Yesterday we had a 4,000 watt generator because we only had one air conditioner and heat pump. This has two air conditioners and heat pumps on it, so it needs a little bigger generator. So this is the Onan 5500. The 5500 generator also has onboard diagnostics on it, so if it ever fails, it'll actually, just like your car, it'll throw a code that in most cases will tell you exactly what's wrong with it, but will certainly lead you down that path. If it's throwing a code, I don't know, 13, you look that up, well, that needs a fuel pump. So if you're handy, it can be great for do-it-yourselfers, but even if you're taking it to the technician, it's going to save you time in the shop for diagnostics. It makes his life easier. This is a pull-out battery tray. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries on there. And you don't see pull-out trays very often on gas coaches. Usually they have the house batteries under a step or something. Our engine battery's in the nose on this coach, but our house batteries, there's 4 of them. That's going to give us better life for that inverter refrigerator. And pull-out tray just makes them that much easier for access for serviceability. Our propane bottles up front here. Propane, for those of you who are not RVers yet, is not a real big expense for 99% of RVers out there. Most people tell me they fill that thing once a year, maybe twice a year. Your only appliance that uses a lot of propane is the furnace. So, I always tell people, look, if you're doing it right, you're not using your furnace a lot. Take this thing somewhere near the equator and you don't have to use the furnace. So, but if you are somebody that works out of it and you do a lot of cold weather, that would be the one scenario where you would end up filling the propane tank a little more often. All right, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. This is the 3626 Newmar Bay Star. Canyon Star is next on the list. We'll be doing that shortly, probably if we can get to it, maybe Monday. Doesn't seem to be that busy here in coronavirus time, but we are still, we sell all over the country. If you want to purchase from us, you like this coach, it's the right coach for you, you call me, we'll put the deal together for you. You fly in, I'll pick you up at the airport, we'll bring you here, you do your walkthrough and your demonstration here. If you have a trade-in, obviously just drive, you got to drive that in, that prevents you from flying in. But we do business all over the country. We're in Greenfield, Indiana, but that doesn't stop us. The internet has certainly shrunk our world a little bit. So hope you're doing well, being safe and feeling well. We'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV.